the day before yesterday that she cheated on me and left me for another guy the day after my birthday.
Okay.
And then she's been keeping the kids from me, but she claims that she hasn't. But the truth is I thought she was keeping the kids from me. But the truth is she was seeing somebody instead of like calling me with the kids. And you get what I'm saying? Like, so,
yeah.
So like I'd be expecting, like I was trying to give her space because obviously I still wanted to be with her and everything.
Those were the words of Jason Karels, justifying the unthinkable. But was this the full truth, or just his twisted version of it? Let's break down the events leading up to this horrific crime. The note left behind contained just 7 haunting words. If I can't have them, neither can you. By the time police arrived, it was too late. What they found inside that quiet suburban home was something so horrifying, so unspeakable, that even seasoned investigators struggled to comprehend it. A mother's worst nightmare. A father's ultimate betrayal. 3 innocent lives stolen in an act of pure evil. How did this happen? Were there warning signs? And could this tragedy have been prevented? In this video, we uncover the disturbing truth, the red flags no one saw, the chilling final moments before it all unraveled, and the system that failed to protect the most vulnerable. This is a case that will stay with you long after the story ends. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Debra and Jason Karels' relationship began like many others, filled with the promise of love, companionship, and shared dreams. They met in their late 20s, introduced through mutual friends, and quickly connected over common interests and life goals. Jason, with his reserved and introspective demeanor, found comfort in Debra's warm, nurturing spirit. Debra, drawn to Jason's quiet charm and intelligence, believed she had found a partner with whom she could build a stable and loving family. Their early years together were marked by typical milestones: dating, engagement, and eventually marriage. The couple settled in Round Lake Beach, envisioning a peaceful suburban life. Their happiness seemed to grow with the arrival of their 3 children, Bryant, Cassidy, and Gideon. To outsiders, they appeared to be the quintessential suburban family, enjoying family outings, celebrating birthdays, and creating memories within the comfort of their home. However, beneath this seemingly idyllic surface, cracks began to form. Jason struggled with mental health issues, including depression and bouts of emotional instability. Initially, Debra believed that their love and growing family could help Jason find stability. She was supportive, encouraging him to seek professional help and offering emotional reassurance. But as time passed, Jason's struggles deepened. His behavior grew increasingly erratic, marked by mood swings, isolation, and a growing sense of detachment from family life. Debra's role in the marriage shifted from partner to caretaker, as she tried to manage both her children's needs and Jason's unpredictable behavior. The emotional burden was immense. Despite her efforts, Jason resisted treatment, often dismissing his mental health issues and rejecting external support. The couple's communication deteriorated, and their once loving relationship became strained by tension, resentment, and unspoken fears. The situation worsened after the birth of their youngest child, Gideon. Jason became possessive and controlling, displaying signs of emotional manipulation. Debra found herself increasingly isolated, struggling to maintain a semblance of normalcy for her children while grappling with her deteriorating marriage. Recognizing the toxic environment, she made the courageous decision to separate from Jason, prioritizing her children's safety and well-being. The separation was contentious. Jason couldn't accept the dissolution of his family, viewing Debra's decision as a personal betrayal. He became obsessed with maintaining control, using their children as emotional leverage. Custody battles intensified his feelings of loss and resentment, further destabilizing his fragile mental state. Debra's attempts to shield her children from Jason's volatility were met with escalating threats and manipulative behavior. Despite these challenges, she remained resolute, determined to provide a safe and loving environment for her children. Tragically, her efforts were met with unimaginable consequences. Jason Karels was born and raised in Illinois, coming from a seemingly average middle-class family. His early life gave little indication of the darkness that would later consume him. Jason was described by former classmates and neighbors as quiet and reserved, with few close friends. His introverted nature often masked his internal struggles. As he entered adulthood, Jason's mental health began to deteriorate. He battled depression and exhibited signs of emotional instability. But these issues were either overlooked or dismissed by those around him. Jason met Debra in his late 20s, and for a time, their relationship provided a semblance of stability. They married and soon welcomed 3 children into their lives, which, for a brief period, seemed to ground Jason. However, the pressures of fatherhood and marital responsibilities exacerbated his underlying mental health issues. Jason became increasingly withdrawn, struggling to maintain employment and exhibiting erratic behavior. Debra encouraged him to seek professional help, but Jason was resistant, often downplaying his symptoms or refusing treatment altogether. Friends and family noted a disturbing shift in Jason's demeanor following the couple's separation. He grew possessive, obsessed with the idea of losing his family. His sense of identity, deeply tied to his role as a husband and father, began to unravel. This obsession, combined with untreated mental illness, set the stage for the horrific events that would follow. Jason's inability to cope with rejection and his escalating mental health crisis created a dangerous cocktail of rage and despair. His actions were not those of a man who simply snapped. They were the culmination of years of unresolved psychological issues and a toxic need for control. Debra Karels grew up in Illinois, surrounded by a close-knit family that instilled in her a strong sense of resilience and compassion. Known for her nurturing spirit and unwavering dedication, Debra pursued a career in healthcare, where she found purpose in caring for others. Her empathetic nature made her a beloved figure among friends and colleagues alike. Debra met Jason Karels in her late 20s. Their early relationship was filled with the promise of a shared future, built on dreams of family and stability. They married and soon welcomed 3 children, Brian, Cassidy, and Gideon, into their lives. Motherhood was where Debra truly thrived. She was a devoted, hands-on mother, finding joy in the everyday moments of raising her children, from bedtime stories to family outings at the park. However, as Jason's mental health deteriorated, Debra found herself navigating the complexities of a marriage overshadowed by emotional instability. Despite the growing challenges, she remained steadfast in her commitment to her family. Debra sought help for Jason, encouraging him to address his mental health struggles, but her efforts were often met with resistance. When the marriage became untenable, Debra made the difficult decision to separate from Jason, prioritizing the safety and well-being of her children. She pursued full custody, determined to provide a stable environment free from the volatility that had plagued their home. Her strength during this period was a testament to her resilience, even as she faced threats and emotional manipulation from Jason. The tragic loss of her children was a devastation beyond comprehension. Yet, in the face of unimaginable grief, Debra emerged as a symbol of courage. Her heartfelt public statements and advocacy for domestic violence awareness highlighted her enduring strength. Debra became a voice for other survivors, channeling her pain into a mission to support families affected by similar tragedies. Debra's story is one of profound love and resilience. Despite the horrors she endured, she continues to honor the memory of her children through acts of compassion and community involvement. Her journey is a testament to the enduring power of a mother's love and the human spirit's capacity to rise from the depths of unimaginable loss. Debra spoke to her children the night before the murders. Her last words to them were filled with warmth and love. "I love you so much. I can't wait to see you tomorrow." She had no idea that this would be the final conversation she'd ever have with them. The next morning, Debra arrived at Jason's home to pick up the children for a routine doctor's appointment. When no one answered the door, her anxiety grew. She called the police for a welfare check. What officers discovered inside was a scene straight out of a nightmare. The children were found lifeless in a bedroom, their small bodies eerily still. Evidence indicated they had been drowned individually in the bathtub. The chilling note Jason left behind was more than just words. It was a dagger aimed directly at Debra's heart. Jason himself was nowhere to be found. After committing the murders, Jason fled the scene.
Vehicles off the roadway here at, he came all the way down, sorry. Water Street in Duncan, Water Street, Duncan. Where's he at? Right down there.
Can you see his hands?
Yeah. Put your hands here. Keep him up. No, I'm not going to shoot you.
You want to get him cuffs? Get his hands up?
Yeah. Come in. Put your hands.
Put your hands out the car. Put your other hand out the car.
I mean, where you get shot, sit tight, don't move. I don't know if anything's alright? Then go up and back or something. I'll move before we mess with you, okay? What's your name? Jason?
Out the car, okay? Put your hands out the car.
What?
Yep, just leave your hands out the car, okay?
No, I moved from out farther.
Okay, good.
We appreciate it, man. We can't move you right now just because we don't know the extent of your injuries, okay? We don't want to hurt you more than you already are. You got any weapons in the car?
No, sir, I don't know.
No knives, no nothing.
My plan was to.
What? Leg right now, lacerations up on the arms and hands.
My plan was to drive.
Hey man, can you feel your feet?
A little bit.
Don't move your legs. Can you move your toes right now? Anything else hurt? What's that? That's good, man. Hey, the good news is you didn't hurt anyone. I mean, besides yourself. So that's good. Leading up range. Yeah. What's that? Think you hurt your kids? What are your kids' names? Were they at home?
There was only one in the car, right?
Yeah. What's that? Sorry?
They tried to put him in. I woke up, and all of a sudden, they were dead.
Leading law enforcement on a high-speed chase that ended on an Interstate 80 bridge near Joliet, Illinois. His vehicle crashed, and as first responders pulled him from the wreckage, Jason uttered a confession that sent shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned officers. "I killed my kids." Jason later admitted he had attempted to take his own life multiple times after the murders but failed. His confession wasn't just an admission of guilt. It was a window into the twisted rationale that had driven him to commit such an atrocity.
She would try to paint me. She would paint me as this bad, terrible person to make herself feel better for how she felt about herself.
Okay.
I also wanted to be a psychologist. That was my third dream job.
You guys are married still, from my understanding, or
We're separated.
you guys are separated, but legally
And
still married?
I found out the day before yesterday that she cheated on me and left me for another guy the day after my birthday.
Okay.
And then she's been keeping the kids from me, but she claims that she hasn't. But the truth is I thought she was keeping the kids from me. But the truth is she was seeing somebody instead of like calling me with the kids. And you get what I'm saying? Like, so,
Yeah.
So like I'd be expecting, like I was trying to give her space because obviously I still wanted to be with her. And I feel like it's not that she didn't love me, it's that she doesn't love herself. So, but she takes it out on me to make herself feel better. If I'm being honest with you, sir, like, I don't know why I did what I did, but like I know what I told myself when I did it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
What was that?
and it was like that they deserved to be with me, and that I felt like she was neglecting them, and I wanted. For some reason, I thought it was okay to hurt them too. I don't know why I did that. Like, I thought we would be together, like, in whatever's after this life, like, and like the whole time I was trying to get home, I kept telling myself, they're waiting for you, you have to be with them. I don't know why, I've never been like that before.
Okay.
And I said, I left her like a note and stuff, and like most of it was just like trying to be like, I don't know.
Was it something that you wanted for her to feel your pain or in that sense, or
I can't say yes or no to that,
Okay.
honestly. I don't think so.
Okay.
What exactly? I just didn't want to be in pain, and I think I told myself that, and you'll actually hear it in the last time we talked. I told her, it's like, if I'm not around, you're just going to start taking it out on them, and they don't deserve that. And I think I felt like I was saving them. I don't know why.
Saving them in
Like
what sense?
From going through the pain that I did.
Kind of walk me through today, Jay. No, don't be sorry. Just kind of walk me through today, kind of what was going on. How were the kids? Were they joyful, playful?
They were awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they wasn't like frustrating.
No, like this was yesterday and the day before.
What was?
I did everything I did. I started doing this morning at 1 a.m.
So 1 a.m. is when everything happened.
Yes, sir.
So then what kind of happened? What kind of triggered you after the phone call ended? Were the babies were kids sleeping, or
No,
were they up?
We were
Everybody
watching TV, and then I knew I had to give him a bath,
Yeah.
and like I don't know, like I just something in my brain snapped because of the things she said to me on the phone.
Is it that she said?
That it's weird because she did say some nice things to me in the end, but it's like she said that I was nothing, that I deserved nothing, that I was a terrible father, a terrible husband, and like all these things, and it was like I don't know, like something snapped in me, and like and I know that makes it seem like I was trying to get back at her, but it was like it wasn't. It was never about getting back at her. It was about as it sounds, was doing something for myself.
Okay.
And like that's what I told myself.
Yeah.
Like I wanted.
What was that thing that you were doing for yourself?
Was them so we could be together forever.
Okay. And did you plan this out? Did you already have an idea of how you wanted to do this? Did it take some time for you to do it?
No, I started giving him a bath, and for some reason I said we're going to do it one by one, and I did one by one, and then I tried to.
Jason Karels was charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. During court proceedings, his defense team argued that he was mentally ill at the time of the crimes. He eventually entered a plea of guilty but mentally ill. This plea acknowledged his role in the murders while also pointing to his deteriorating mental health as a contributing factor. Despite the plea, the judge sentenced Jason to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The court's decision was a reflection of both the severity of his crimes and the profound impact they had on the victim's family and the wider community. For Debra, the loss of her children was not just a personal tragedy but an ongoing nightmare from which she could never awaken. Speaking to ABC 7 Chicago, she said, "He knew that nothing mattered to me more than those children. He took them away from me because he knew it would hurt me the most." Debra's grief became the focal point of community support. Friends, neighbors, and even strangers rallied around her, offering condolences, financial assistance, and emotional support. A GoFundMe campaign raised over $100,000 to help cover funeral expenses and provide some semblance of stability in the aftermath of the tragedy. Round Lake Beach was left reeling from the incident. Vigils were held in memory of Bryant, Cassidy, and Gideon. Community leaders spoke about the need for greater awareness of mental health issues and domestic violence. The tragedy sparked difficult but necessary conversations about the warning signs of familial abuse and the systemic gaps that often allow such horrors to unfold unnoticed. The Round Lake Beach Police Department issued a heartfelt statement. "Our thoughts continue to be with the family and friends of the victims and the rest of our community affected by this senseless tragedy. While nothing can bring these wonderful children back, we hope this outcome will give the family and loved ones some closure." As with many true crime cases, the story of Jason Karels leaves behind more questions than answers. How could such a tragedy have been prevented? Were there missed signs that could have alerted authorities or family members to the impending danger? And perhaps most hauntingly, what goes through the mind of a parent as they take the lives of their own children? Jason's mental illness was undoubtedly a factor, but it does not absolve him of responsibility. His actions were premeditated, his motives rooted in revenge and control. This wasn't just a crime of passion. It was a calculated act designed to cause maximum suffering. The Round Lake Beach murders are a grim reminder of the complex interplay between mental health, domestic violence, and familial breakdowns. They highlight the urgent need for accessible mental health resources, effective legal protections in custody disputes, and robust support systems for families in crisis. For those left behind, like Debra, the grief is a lifelong sentence. But within that grief lies a painful lesson: the importance of vigilance, the necessity of intervention, and the enduring strength of a community united in the face of unimaginable loss. The Round Lake Beach murders are a grim reminder of the complex interplay between mental health, domestic violence, and familial breakdowns. They highlight the urgent need for accessible mental health resources, effective legal protections in custody disputes, and robust support systems for families in crisis. I talked to the kids the night before. I said, "I love you so much. I can't wait to see you tomorrow." And the next day, they're gone. Debra Karels, the echoes of that final conversation linger, a testament to a mother's love and a chilling reminder of the fragile thread that binds life and death. The names Bryant, Cassidy, and Gideon deserve to be remembered not just as victims of a horrific crime, but as vibrant souls whose light was extinguished far too soon. May their memories be a beacon for change, compassion, and the relentless pursuit of justice.